Maths and science.
We'll touch on automotive. I'm studying commerce with pure mathematics. Yes.
Okay. What do you know about the 16th of June, 1976?
I know that our rights were fought for as youth people. Therefore, we are supposed to celebrate our youth days. And on Youth Day, like we are celebrating and trying to figure out our purpose and what we are here for.
In 1976, a lot of young people, some from as young as primary school, were able to organize themselves throughout the country. We have big marches that happened. For instance, most people know about the one in Soweto. But one of the things that we don't talk most about is the fact that young people came from all over the country. They were marching. There were marches even before the 16th of June in other places such as Langa, in the Western Cape and other spaces. For when, as a young person today, when you look at the young people in 76, they had a big enemy, apartheid, that they were fighting. They fought for the freedom to be taught in languages that they can understand. When you look at the spirit of 1976, the young people then, and you guys today as the young people where you are, what are your thoughts in terms of what the young people were facing that day? Do you feel that you have progressed, that the 16th of June 1976, has it achieved for you what the young people were fighting then?
Yes, I feel like it has progressed. It has improved a lot from back then. Back then, they used to fight for freedom. They used to fight so that lessons can be taught in many different languages, and that is what we are receiving today. We don't have to fight for it because, like, they have already fought it. They had already fought for it. So we are currently receiving lessons in many different languages.
Okay. How many languages are you receiving?
11 official languages.
They are all represented in your schools.
Yes.
Okay. As a young woman, the youth of 1976, whether we're looking at leadership and representation, the young women, or do you feel that the issues of young women that they were dealing with in 1976, did that pave a way in any way for you as a young woman today to say that as a young person, I feel that I'm represented in all the spaces, and I feel that my struggles for young women that they were facing in 76 laid a good foundation for me to be able to achieve this or to be able to participate there as a young black woman?
As a young woman, I feel like that has made us as women be able to lead, give us the be eager to lead and be eager to know the specific skills that are needed in order to be leaders and in order to okay, in order for her, like, how can I put this?
Ubona ing today in the life mo bophelong ba hao as a young woman, as ngwanana mosetsana o tsamayang sekolo, ke eng that you can point to and say, oh, as a young person today compared to 1976, this is what 1976 did for me. I'm able to do this because there were young women in 1976 standing up to apartheid.
I feel like I have the freedom to education. I have the freedom to being a leader. I have a freedom to be able to study in any language that I want to study in and explore different languages, learn them, and be able to learn more without having fear without having any fear. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think you have the same understanding of the politics that exist as a young person, when you look at the youth and what they did in 76 and in those days, do you think the youth of today would go out in the same way? Do you think youth today understand what's going on politically? Do they understand what June 16 means?
I don't think they do understand, but I only feel like they only know that it is a holiday, but they don't know the purpose of the holiday. They don't know what is required to be done on the holiday. They don't even know what was done for this holiday to exist.
What do you think are the dangers of that, where the youth of 76 made such a big change in terms of the politics in their country, and today the youth of today in 2026, 50 years later, young people don't know what, as you are saying, young people don't know what the 16th of June is about. What do you see as the dangers of that?
Most young people don't know that on the 16th of June, they fought for their education in order for them to have freedom of education, and in order for them to be able to speak or be taught in any lesson. Mostly don't know that it is supposed to be celebrated because they now have the freedom, unlike back then, because like they did not have any freedom to education and to being taught in their own home language.
What do you think young people should be doing today to redirect and give direction to what young people did in 76? What can you do as young people to ensure that not just the struggle but the commitment to liberation that the youth had in those days, to revive that spirit in young people today? What do you think the role of the young people themselves today could be? When you look at the fact that those youth in 76, no Facebook, no TikTok, no WhatsApp, no any of this. What is the responsibility of the youth today?
Today, I feel like the youth, in order for them to create awareness of youth, they could create events. Just like today, they have created on-stage theatre to make us aware of Youth Day. Since technology has improved and social media is, almost everything is shared on social media, they could also try to create awareness and promote Youth Day, and also tell the youth of today what Youth Day is all about and why it is being celebrated on the 16th of June.
What are you and your friends going to be doing tomorrow? As
I don't know. We haven't really, we don't have any ideas for now.
How do you think that affects progress as young people when tomorrow is the one day where we commemorate and celebrate the contributions of youth to the liberation struggle? When you guys are saying, I don't know what we are going to be doing tomorrow, what does that make you think? How do you feel about that?
I feel like the reason why we don't know what we're going to do tomorrow is because of not having awareness of what happened on the 16th of June, what was the purpose of the 16th of June, and how we are supposed to celebrate it. I think it is the reason why today we don't know how we're supposed to celebrate it and what we're supposed to do in order for us to celebrate the day, to celebrate the Youth Day.
What do you think you can do to change this? So that next year, is there anything you can do about tomorrow and the next 16th of June? What changes can you?
We can do a research on what Youth Day was all about and why are people celebrating Youth Day, and how we can also contribute to the people who are celebrating Youth Day as youth. How can we celebrate this day, because this day it's specifically for youth people. So as youth people, we're supposed to know how we're supposed to celebrate this day. So we can do a research and go online and check on the things that we are supposed to do, the activities that we are supposed to participate in.
What are the challenges that youth in your community face today? What is the biggest challenge for youth where you come from, in your school, in your community?
biggest challenge is education. Some people today don't have access to education, and some of them are also they also fear showing off their talents. And then another thing is most youth don't have the most youth people are not ambitious, and that is also a problem that also contributes to the challenges that the youth faces.
I wish you the ability to start with yourself and the young people that are closest to you, to look around, first to look at yourself. There is two things that you said earlier. You mentioned that the youth of 1976 fought so that young people can have access to education. And just now you are saying one of the biggest issues in your community is having access to education. So in as much as I'm getting from you then, in as much as the youth in 76 went and fought big with education being the biggest issue that they were raising, today you still have talking about young people not having access to education. So I do hope that from that, as a young person, you can look at where the youth of 76 were. For them, it was at a time when even going into town, it's about maybe 4 o'clock now, there were supposed to be no black people in town after 4. Like, you could get arrested, you could die. And in those times, you had young people as young as 13 that were able to not only know the issues that were happening, but they were able to also speak and create opportunities for themselves to be heard. I think our struggle against apartheid as a country, it was the noise of the youth and the boldness, the bravery of the young people, the youth that went out to the streets, knowing they were going to face apartheid police, they were going to fight guns. So for you also to recognize the fact that the power lies with the youth. The youth are powerful. The youth have the energy. The youth know what they want. And the older people that exist in your community, they have the experience of the past that they can share with you. So that we know that to go forward, we also need to know our history. If the young people forget and continue to not know what 1976 was about, you need to take full responsibility to conscientize each other so that in the next 20 years, the history of youth and what they did to fight for freedom can completely be forgotten and gone. So I wish you all the best as a young woman. It's always even more special as a woman. I grew up during apartheid, many 50 years or so over ago. And today watching young people and looking at what is available for you, and sad hearing a young person say, we don't know what 1976 was about. These are the researches that you need to look at so that we don't find ourselves walking ourselves back to those struggles. But your interest, the fact that you want to be able to come out and you can speak like this, and you are so well spoken, you have an opportunity to actually do more as a young person, to educate young people. Bring the young people in your school together and look at what challenges face you as a group and what you can do to resolve. Things start small in your community, and then you do something that resonates with other youth out there. And you can find ways of doing that, whether it's through sports, it's through debates, having those discussions about things that are important to you guys. All the best.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. Thank you.